Hello, friends. A very warm welcome. And today, the discussion for current affairs and some questions which we are going to do in a very brief and smart manner. We are again starting with key ideas. For example, I want to ask you first, Ashik, animal husbandry, when seen in context of agriculture, allied activities, and employment, how much success? So my question is, as I already said once, that in context of animal husbandry, as agriculture and allied activities, a critical element is there. So, in terms of success and constraint, what we can say?
So animal husbandry contribution to agriculture is huge, sir. It is up more than 45%. And we have various successful models. For example, Amul model, which is related to the cooperative sector for the animal husbandry. Other than that, in other aspect, for example, milch cattle, even fisheries, even poultry, egg, white revolution, etc. It is there. We are one of the most leading producer of the meat industry in the world, even uh, poultry, egg, etc. At the same time, there are certain limitations. We can say, first of all, the most important and most stigmatized problem is with regarding to the profitability of the allied sector. Then second would be diseases control, which needs to be tackled through National Mission for Disease Control. And third would be if the
Like to
scaling up,
here is
scaling up the
food. Is
issue.
there food?
Yes.
One point is there food produce. Food produce. जो
Yes, sir.
आप एनिमल हस्बेंड्री में जो चुग्गा दाना जिसको
Yes,
कहते हो, वही अनवायबल हो रहा है। इन्फ्लेशन इतना ज्यादा है, वो इसकी
yes,
अवेलेबिलिटी कम होती है, तो कैसे होगा?
yes. Feedstock inflation.
Sec- Okay, Mansi, you want to add something to it?
So we are also now focusing upon promotion of more of indigenous breeds of India. So in
हम्म,
livestock.
वो भी है। और
हाँ.
जनधन जनधन अकाउंट ने भी एनिमल हस्बेंड्री को प्रमोट करने में मदद की। देर इज समथिंग कॉल्ड इनोवेशन इंडेक्स, फाइनेंशियल इनोवेशन, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन एंड इनोवेशन इंडेक्स, समथिंग ऑफ दैट सॉर्ट बाय आरबीआई, जिसके अंदर एक्सेस, अवेलेबिलिटी सारा बात है। तो उस इंडेक्स के ऊपर भी आप बोल सकते हो एमएसएमई है तब भी जनधन डालो, हर जगह जनधन को डाल सकते। जनधन ने एक्सेस कर दिया,
Financial
एक्सेस।
inclusion index.
हाँ, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन इंडेक्स बाय आरबीआई, तो वो भी आप देखिए, एक्सेस है, अवेलेबिलिटी है। मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन है आशिक कि गोवा में कैशू नट प्रोडक्शन में भयंकर कमी आई है। कैशू नट प्रोडक्शन में क्यों आई है? क्या सॉल्यूशन हो सकते हैं और क्या यूसेजेस है कैशू नट्स?
Yes, sir.
एक
Cash,
एग्जांपल है, दिस इज एन एग्जांपल टू
cashew nut.
अंडरस्टैंड।
Yes, sir. Cashew nut. It is very. It is known as a cash crop, kaju, and it is used in a kaju katli, etc. in daily to daily lives. But apart from that, it can be grown in certain
लेकिन
region.
गोवा में काजू कतली में नहीं है ये। गोवा में, गोवा
Say
गोवा में ये फैनी है।
सर वो उसमें है, मतलब ग्रेवी में कैशू नट यूज होता है इन।
वो तो ठीक है, मैं
हाँ,
आपको बता रहा हूँ ना, फेनी, जो
हाँ,
गोवा की फेनी, फेनी देयर बीवरेज, उसका
हम्म,
की ingredient ही कैशू नट का उसका है।
हाँ,
तो बिकॉज ऑफ बिकॉज ऑफ अर्बनाइजेशन, बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ऑफ यूथ इन ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्रीज, बिकॉज ऑफ क्रॉप इन्फेस्टेशन, बिकॉज ऑफ अनसीजनल रेनफॉल्स, क्लाइमेट, इसकी वजह से कैशू का प्रोडक्शन कम हो गया। एंड दे हैव टू डिपेंड अपॉन इंपोर्ट फ्रॉम डिफरेंट अदर स्टेट्स
so
लाइक केरला।
one more aspect is there. For example, India is facing competition from the almond from California. Even China is using the same. Yes,
आलमंड
Californian
और
almond. वैसे सेम चीज कैशू में भी हो रहा है कि दे आर यूजिंग सच काइंड ऑफ लोकल कैशू टू प्लांट इन अदर कंट्रीज, वहां से एक्सपोर्ट। फॉर एग्जांपल, इंडिया में वियतनाम से आ रहा है कुछ रबर आ रहा है जो इंडिया के रबर इंडस्ट्री को हार्म कर रहा है, बाकी सब इंडियन।
these are big big very important challenges and we have to understand कि उनको हम कैसे हैंडल करें, because this is very important to see। या सॉल्यूशन जो आपके आंसर्स में होने चाहिए वो बड़े वायबल और स्मार्ट होने चाहिए. देयर इज नो अदर वे आउट फॉर अस. नेशनल बायो एनर्जी प्रोग्राम क्या टारगेट लेकर चला है और कैसे उसकी सक्सेस होगी?
Yes, sir. So to reach the target of 500 gigawatt of renewable source of energy, National Bioenergy Program will play a very important role, and it consists of several aspects. First of all, biomethane, coal gasification, LNG production, and at the same time, biogas, etc., can play a very important role. Other than that, green ammonia and green hydrogen as long-term target is 5 million ton by 2030. So to meet that kind of a demand, we have to focus much more on national gas grid, which can be supplied by the GAIL. And second would be creating a viable space in India to reach the potential of the capacity.
Okay, Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Act 2023. I repeat, Mines and Mineral Development and Regulation Amendment Act 2023. इस बारे में आपका क्या कहना है?
So Mines and Mineral Amendment was on MMDR Act 1957. It was focusing much more on captive mining, as well as it has also included critical mineral also, uh, which were not present in earlier. So two aspects. Apart from
Okay.
that, in 2015, the concept was Khanij Kendra, which focused on development of rural areas from the mining royalty that was deposited at a local grassroots level, Gram Sabha level. The welfare of the local tribe that has been affected by the mining is also included.
Okay. ब्रिक्स एक्सपेंशन के बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
Yes, sir. So BRICS plus 6 is an expansion of several countries. For example, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, then Ethiopia is also there, and Argentina. Yes, all 6 countries have been included in the BRICS. It is focusing much more on multilateral institution, that is hedging against the Western bias, Western non Western bias in the multilateral, for example, World Bank, even in IMF. So it will create a new form of financial mechanism, for example, through NDB, New Development Bank. Second would be internationalization of rupees will be focused on. Third would be de-dollarization, long-term objective of the several developing countries will be there. South-South cooperation will be there between the countries, as well as alternative viability with regarding to energy security. India can focus. So it will be beneficial to the global south as a whole.
Okay. Mansi, you want to add something?
नहीं सर, पॉइंट सारे ऐड कर ही दिए हैं ऑलमोस्ट.
ठीक है. जरा इंडिया का जो पब्लिक डेट है आशिक, उसके बारे में आप क्या कहेंगे?
So India's public debt, it is 45 to 45% of the GDP. It is mostly driven by the private sector, and the debt has to be reduced so that devaluation of the rupees, even depreciation of rupees can be curtailed. So long term mein, we have several other avenues. For example, internationalization of the rupees, then focus on masala bond, as well as investment in India through use of FDI, FI can play a very important role to mitigate the debt, as well as fiscal consolidation within India, rationalization of the schemes and other aspects can play a very important role.
नो कॉन्फिडेंस मोशन क्या है और provide some relevant facts.
Yes, sir. So no confidence motion is passed in Lok Sabha only against the government if it is supported by the 50 plus more members initially, and speaker has a power to reject it as well as accept it. And second of all, first it was passed during the Jawaharlal Nehru's period. तो JP कृपलानी थे, first time it was passed that time. And if no confidence motion is passed, then the government is bound to be in minority and it has to resign. For example, it had passed during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government 1997-1980. So it showcases the collective
Okay.
responsibility of the ministers.
North-Eastern Council.
Yes, sir. So North-Eastern Council is a statutory body under the 1971 Act, and it is very important for the development of the Northeast region because it is focused by the Ministry of Home Affairs as well as local chief minister. So it is an example, beautiful example of cooperative federalism as well as competitive federalism within the states, between the states, so that they can get a important project, developmental project, infrastructure project for their own states. तो
आप
various
एक अगले
concepts.
एक डिकेड में स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम में इंडिया का फ्यूचर क्या देखते हैं?
Yes, in next decade we are moving to a startup ecosystem, mostly in newer technologies, artificial intelligence, machine learning, for example, Krutrim, then space technology, Agnikul and Skyroot, the etc., Bellatrix, etc. Then we are focusing much on defense technology, and at the same time, most important startup will be in the manufacturing zone. For example, Ola scooter, and as well as in service sector also we will focus much more on mitigation of climate change. So overall, ESG norm, green economy will be focused more in the startup culture. So agri-based sensor, drones, artificial intelligence, how to control the weather, and even mapping of the weather and land atlas program, all will be there in the service sector.
जब हम इंडियन फ्यूडलिज्म की बात करते हैं, सामंतवाद, हाउ इट हैज इम्पैक्टेड द इंडियन पॉलिटिकल थॉट इन एंशिएंट टाइम्स?
So Indian feudalism, where since the Vedic times and even before, but it was gaining more prominent after the Guptas, and it has impacted thought because it was making the society more fragmented, as well as the investment was not across the country, but it was very consolidated in very small manner. The narrow thinking, the mindset, as well as caste supremacy and the caste proliferation was some element of the feudalism. It also impacted the low technology innovation in during that time, as well as it became prone to the various foreign invasion in India, which we have seen in 7th and 8th century CE.
Okay. भारत NCAP.
Yes, sir.
Right?
So Bharat NCAP rating, it is related to the vehicle safety, and
Correct.
generally worldwide we focus much on side to side collision and front to front collision in European standard, but in Bharat standard we have certain kind of indicator with regarding to the NCAP rating. 1 to 5 it is given for several other countries, and it is a voluntary scheme. Everyone can or cannot can participate in this Bharat NCAP. It will make the vehicle more safe. It will reduce the road accident in future. So ADAS feature, safety belt as well as airbag becomes mandatory in coming years.
इसी कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर हम इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर की बात करें, तो इन लास्ट 2 and or for that matter,
Sir, So please pardon.
Corridor.
Yes, you are audible now.
Am I audible now to you?
Yes, sir. So
I'm saying
Mm.
in context of industrial corridor, last 2.5 decades when we speak about. In fact, there are various other types. Green corridor बोलते हैं हम और बाकी हम बात करते हैं. तो in that context, can you just quickly recap which corridors are playing what role and what is the link with the future? The future की अब हम बात कर.
Yes, sir. So we are connecting industrial corridor with the freight corridor as well as Bharat and Sagarmala project under the Gati Shakti program. Industrial corridor, the existing traditional model was Delhi Mumbai corridor and Ludhiana to Kolkata corridor, but a new model of industrial corridor is gaining track. For example, Chennai to Bangalore. For example, Hosur, new semiconductor industry in Hosur in Tamil Nadu will play a very important role in next 10 years. At the same time, Chennai to Visakhapatnam to Kolkata corridor will play important role in development of the ports as well as fisheries and other kind of industries connecting hinterland, as well as Nagpur to Visakhapatnam and Nagpur to Hyderabad and then Bangalore. Is this there? And Bangalore to Mumbai. To all these corridor will integrate the hinterland to port, as well as it will focus much more on SEZ, special economic zone, as well as creating of a base, for example, gift city type in other cities as well. Hosur हो गया, मोरगांव हो गया, लोथल, धोलावीरा, etc.
Coming to bringing, because we had been discussing so many different areas and elements. अगर मैं आपको बोलूं that World Trade Statistical Review, इंडिया क्या कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता है और इंडिया क्या फायदा उठा सकता है? वर्ल्ड ट्रेड स्टैटिस्टिकल रिव्यू.
So World Trade Statistical Review, it has said that slowly there has been a phase of deglobalization in the world. Because of certain trade protectionist activity by the Western countries. Here, India can play a very important role because it is one of the fastest growing economies, approximately 7 to 8% every year. At the same time, a huge demographic dividend is there. Apart from that, China plus one strategy India is focusing on. Further, India is also integrating itself into the global supply chain. For example, ISET, I2U2, even IMC, IPEF, etc. So India can be a manufacturing base along with South Asian country, which can be alternative to China in longer run. So this will be a trend.
You want to add something to it?
So we are equally focusing upon the port-led development also. So apart from this, as a regional security player also, because India lies in the important uh, the trade routes which pass through the Indian Ocean. So even in that case, security from the perspective of be it the natural disasters or the piracy which is seen in the Arabian Sea. So India, as we have the vision of being the net security provider. So that is one aspect. And even in the shipping industry, we are promoting green shipping. So manufacturing of the shipping industry and also reducing the response time of the imports that we are having.
Okay, Ashik, what steps we must take? This is the second last question. Then I'll ask one more. What are those steps? What are those options in order to make sure that railways can have better financial control? What steps must be taken for the better fiscal management or financial management of railways?
Yes, sir. Sir, operating ratio of the railway, it is around 99.6%. So 0.4% is only profit of the railways, whole railway. So we have to focus much more on stratification of freight corridor, as well as more and more freight corridor can be used. At the same time, we can focus on passenger train rather than focusing on Vande Bharat, because it will create a more buffer between the tier 2 and AC3, AC2, and as well as the passenger train. Second would be safety and as well as creating of the bond can be there, so that it can generate revenue. For example, railway safety coach fund, it is there.
What about the role of private sector?
Yes, sir. Private
Role
sector can play an important role in station rather than railways, trains. They will focus on redevelopment of the station. For example, Ayodhya, Pune, other aspects. So
And so we are
landlord
having
port model, landlord base model can be used in railways also, which is used in
Yes,
JNPT.
So we are having now many like small manufacturers are emerging specifically in manufacturing the rail bogies in India.
We need actually standardization. We need world-class technology. Railways,
ICF important role.
yes, integrated coach factory. Railways have played a very important role, but like shipping, we need to be more smarter. We need to be more efficient. We need to be more, we have to connect, and that's how even employment and growth can be there. So the last question is that India and the Northern Sea route. Northern Sea route. In that context, what do you say? Northern Sea route.
So in coming decades, there is a chances that that region will be free of ice due to the climate change. So we can import oil and other, you can diversify oil, energy as well as other natural resources from Russia around that region on Northern Sea to the Vladivostok port in the far east, to the Malacca Strait and back to India. We can use that. It can be alternated to INST corridor, as well as it can be alternated to Suez Canal corridor. So that is why India has invested $1 billion in far east region. India also supported the council of East Russian Council. It is there. I think India supported that, as well as India has become an observer of Arctic Council, so that it can play a very important stake in development of the North Sea, because Russia is a superpower in North Sea region, because it has icebreaker, more than 6 nuclear powered icebreaker, which even Canada and US do not have. So India can partnership with Russia regarding that. So
So
but at
Mansi,
the
what?
same time, yes, at the same time we have to focus that it is not harming the pristine nature of the Arctic region, and it should be sustainable.
Okay,
So
so Mansi, how will you summarize everything and add a couple of points, whatever you want to?
So that whenever like we are going through even a magazine or doing newspapers also, so we have to think a little bit more India centric in terms of whatever developments are happening, and we need to have our own opinion. So we need to keep thinking about all those areas. That will again increase the speed of thinking also, and reduce the writing time also when it comes to writing the answers. And
Yes, we
so we are seeing positive developments are happening.
good. I also think of the same line, and we'll be more faster. We'll bring more new elements. We'll be quicker revising. We'll be putting more thought-provoking questions, and we'll move on in the same direction. Kindly revise the previous sessions and go for bringing how to think more and have a certain kind of understanding, and then facts will be falling also in their own place. Thank you very much, one and all, and we'll continue more and more ideas, higher level development, and thinking skills in our next session. Thank you very much.